Students, today I am going to start second poem, an elementary school classroom in a slum. The title itself is very suggestive. It suggests many things. Let me explain some words. Elementary means primary. That means this poem is about a primary school which is situated in slum area. An elementary school classroom in a slum. Slum area you know very well. Around any metropolitan or big city, you will find poor settlements. You will find so many huts where generally poor people live. This type of area, that is called slum area. So here the poet is talking about a school, the room of a school. Yeah, we can say a school which is situated in slum area. The poem has been written by Stephen Spender. You just open your textbook. This poem you will find on page number 92. So find the poem on page number 92. There are 4 stanzas in the poem, but in part 1 I will explain first and second stanza, and in part 2 I will explain third and fourth stanza. So let us see. The poem begins with the picture of a room. It is a room of a school. That school which is in slum area. Obviously the children, the age of children might be 5 to 13 years, because it is primary or elementary school. So now let us see. Far, far from gusty waves, these children's faces. Now the poet has seen the children, how the children were looking. The poet cannot see any energy. The children were very far, far from energy. The children were looking without any energy. Far, far from gusty waves. Gusty waves. Gusty means here gusty waves. Gusty, powerful rush of wind, that is called gusty. When the wind is blowing very fast, at that time you can find the force, the energy in the wind. But in children, these children, there was no any energy. They were taking the breath, but there was no energy level. So poet is telling that they were very far, far from energy. Far, far from gusty waves. Gusty waves means the children were without energy. They had not the energy like the powerful wind, or powerful air. These children's faces were looking energyless. How were these children? Poet is using another simile, like rootless weeds. Rootless means very weak. These children were looking rootless, looking very weak. Why? Because they were very, very poor children. They could not get nutrition. They could not get proper food. That's why they were looking rootless, means weak. Weeds. Weeds means unwanted. The condition of these children were like the unwanted plants. Weeds means unwanted plants. Unnecessary. They born unnecessarily. They were like the burden to the society, to their parents. So poet is using this type of words. Like rootless weeds, the hair torn around their pallor. Pallor means dull face, pale face. There was no any sign of brightness on their face, and their hair were, the hair torn around means their hair were untidy, and their face was dull. You can say a pale. There was no brightness. Paler means dull face. The face was looking very dull. Their faces were looking very dull, yeah, without any brightness. There was no sign of brightness. Now the poet has seen one girl. She was very tall. So poet is telling about that girl. The tall girl with her went down head. Went down head means fallen down. Yeah, you can say sad face. Yeah, fallen down. There was a girl. She was looking very tall, but her face was bent. Why? It is because of sadness. That can be one reason. The paper seeming boy. The poet has seen another one boy, but that boy was very thin. And see the words the poet has used for that boy. That boy was as thin as the paper. That's why poet is using the word. The paper seeming boy. The boy was looking like a paper because the boy was so slim. So here also indirectly the poet wants to say that these children were not getting proper food and nutrition. With rat's eyes. Rat's eyes means greed, burning desire. The boy had some burning desire. The boy had some greed. Perhaps the boy wanted food. That paper-like boy, he wanted perhaps food because he had rat's eyes, means greed, desire. The stunted, the boy was looking stunted. Stunted means undeveloped. Unlucky hair, and the boy was also unlucky. Hair means heritage. This boy was unlucky because he got the heritage. But which type of heritage? In heritage he got property, money? No. In heritage he got disease. Which type of disease? Twisted bonds. His bonds became twisted. This type of heritage he got. That's why the poet is using the word unlucky. Reciting a father's gnarled disease, and the poet is thinking that the boy is repeating or reciting the disease which he got from his father. Which type of disease? The disease of twisted bonds. His lesson from his desk, and he was doing the lesson. At back of the dim class, the class was looking very dim. There was no sign of brightness. And at the back side of this class, there was unnoted. Unnoted means unnoticed. Nobody had seen this person. There was unnoticed, sweet and young student was there. One boy was there. But that boy was unnoticed. Okay. Unnoted means unnoticed. Sweet and young. He was looking sweet. He was young. His eyes live in a dream and he was watching a dream. A squirrel's game. Which type of dream? He wanted to play like a squirrel. You all might have seen the squirrel, the animal. So this boy wants to play like the squirrel. In tree room means he wants to play the game under a tree. Other than this, not in the room of this school. So this is about the first stanza. Now let us see the second stanza. On sour cream walls, the condition of the walls of this classroom was very bad. Sour means unpleasant. The walls of this classroom was looking sour, unpleasant, because the color was gone. And because the school was situated in the slum area, so many persons gave donations. And in donations, what they had given? They had given maps, photo of Shakespeare, etc. So now the poet is telling about that. Donations, Shakespeare's head. There was a picture of Shakespeare, William Shakespeare, the greatest dramatist and poet of the world. And the poet can see the head of Shakespeare. How the head was looking? Cloudless at dawn. The head was at dawn means morning. In the morning time, you cannot see so many clouds in the sky. And Shakespeare's head was looking like that. The Shakespeare's head was looking like cloudless sky. Civilized dome riding all cities. It was like the dome. Dome, you know, okay? Semicircle. When the sun is only not completely, when the sun does not completely rise, when it seems semicircle, at that time it seems like a dome. So Shakespeare's head is also looking like a dome, riding all cities, and it rides all the cities like the sun. Bell. And now the poet is referring other donations, because it is a school, so somebody has given a bell. So poet is referring bell. Bell means having bells. Then flowery means flowers. Then Tyrolese Valley. Tyrolese Valley, it is a name of a valley in Austria. So somebody has given in the form of donation the picture of this valley. Open-handed map, and there was also a map. But which type of map? Open-handed. Avoiding the word, its word. That map was, see here there are two types of world. One world was the world of this classroom, yeah, we can say of this school. And another world was the world of that map. So that map was giving the world to this classroom's world. Open-handed map, avoiding the world, its world. This map, here the poet has used personification. The map is giving the world to the children, those children who were studying in that classroom. And yet for these children, these windows, not this map, their world. But for these children, that map was not significant. For these children, the world is only their classroom, and they were looking out of the window, where all their futures painted with a fog. Fog means here unclear. In this classroom, their future time is painted. And how is their future? Unclear. A narrow street. The children were looking out of the window and they could see a narrow street, sailed in with a lead sky. Lead sky means darkness, dark sky. The street, they could see the street near their school from the window, but the street was surrounded by the dark sky. So the dark sky, the word is also very symbolic. Far, far from rivers. These children, they have not seen the rivers in reality. Their school is far, far from rivers. They are living in different world, far, far from rivers, caps and stars of words. Caps means peninsulas and stars of words. So this is the situation of the children. They were far, far from rivers, caves and stars of words. So first and second stanza I hope you understand, and the poem is very interesting. In next part we will see the third and fourth stanza. Thank you.